to another edition of
The Friday Beer Buzz.
Yes, the Friday Beer Buzz, brought to you by. This seems very abrupt. What happened? I don't know what happened. All right, it's the Friday Beer Buzz, and it is powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's with the area's greatest selection of rare, craft, and I don't know what that noise is. Imported beers, growlers, and crowlers, and 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. And if you've thought to yourself, is that a real place? Here to confirm its existence, Lindo Sabatini is. It's real.
It's real.
It's very real. It's very cool, too. I don't know why. I stayed at the radio station last night, got about 4 hours of sleep in what I would consider to be legally defined as a hot box. It was a mess last night here. I got no sleep. I'm tired, and I'm out of my mind normally. But Bill is here from mybeerbuzz.com. Bill, how are you?
Happy Friday, or I should probably say happy crappy Friday for the lovely weather we have out here.
Yeah, I haven't been outside yet, but the weather, from what I can see, it looks like everyone who leaves their house today goes back inside after 10 minutes or more with pants that are partially wet on one side. Like, there's no way to get, you're going to get your pants wet no matter what. It's just a very sloppy, wet day. But let's talk about something else that'll leave you feeling sloppy and if you do too much.
So I'm out here in Harvey's Lake, and it is still snowing. If you had a 1950s refrigerator and you went in and opened the ice box and you found that mess, that's what my driveway looks like. But we do have some beer news, and we do have a Beer Buzz. The Beer Buzz today is going to be answered on today's show, and we answer this question every year. I get this question every year. What beer should I bring to a Christmas party? I don't know a lot about beer, and I'm going to a party, and I want to take a good beer. And the easy answer really is to go to Sabatini's and pick out one of the gift packs. I know, Lindo, you do gift baskets. You have gift packs that have glassware included in them. And even today's beer, I think, is going to answer that question quite a bit. But there are a lot of choices on the shelves, right, Lindo?
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of gift baskets, many different gift packs. We'll give you 3 or 4 beers from the same brewery and a glass. There's a lot of different options. But you know what? As I'm tasting today's beer right now, the beer is the answer.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought the answer might be, and hear me out on this.
Go ahead.
The answer of what kind of beer do you bring to, was it Christmas party?
Yeah.
It depends how much you like the people.
That's a good answer, too.
Because it's like, I don't want to put a big investment into someone who's just like, oh, what's your name again? But if I really like you, I will bring some stuff.
So if you showed up at my house, you'd bring a 24-ounce can of natural ice?
Yeah.
What's below? No, I'm just kidding.
That's about it.
Tonic water in a plastic cup. That's what. No, I think,
or
interesting.
a smoked lager.
But if you put it this way, you have how many beers do you have over there again? We don't talk about this enough.
3,000-ish.
Yeah, 3,000-ish. So I think it's the type of place that, like, you don't even have to like beer to go and go, oh my god. It's like seriously, I was blown away when I went. So I just want to let everyone know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's the answer to that question.
Yep, and we do have some beer news, and the answer to the question will also be today's beer, but we'll get to that in a minute. Firestone Walker is collaborating with Humble Sea Brewing Company. They're in Firestone Walker is in Paso Robles, California, and Humble Sea is in Santa Cruz, California. They are coming out with a Propagator Series beer called Sea Haze, and it's a double dry hop foggy IPA. It's a hazy IPA. That beer hits 6.8% ABV. It will be packaged in 16-ounce cans. Avery is creating a beer called Latte on My Mind, and it will be an espresso stout, with coffee and vanilla beans. That beer hits 6.5% ABV. It will be packaged in 12-ounce cans. New Belgian Brewing Company, their Voodoo Ranger line of beers, confusing to me, but selling very well. I say this every time. They're coming out with a beer that will be either named Punch Force or Fruit Force. They have not decided yet, and that will be a Fruit Punch IPA that hits 9.5% ABV. That's pretty big. And it will be packaged in 19.2-ounce cans. That's also pretty big. And our last bit of news comes from Sierra Nevada. They're working on a beer called Atomic Torpedo. It will be an Imperial IPA that hits 9.2% ABV. That's a riff on their Torpedo IPA. That one will also be packaged in big 19.2 ounce cans, one of my favorite packaging for beer. And that's our beer news for today. As always, if you want more details, you can click on the Breaking Beer News tab on mybeerbuzz.com.
Have you ever thought of adding a slogan like, remember, the best place and way to carry a beer is in your belly? Ever say, that seems like a good slogan.
Yeah, it's better than cans, better than growler. It could be a growler if you haven't eaten all day. It's a growler.
As long as you're not driving, put it in your belly, and it's always to go. All right, thank you for the beer news. There's always beer news up at mybeerbuzz.com, and it's like a passion thing. All right. Lindo has this beer here, and I see Santa Claus. It looks good.
Did you taste this yet?
I have not
You
yet.
always wait too long. How do you wait this long when there's a beer in front of you? I mean, even though it's 8:39, how do you not just want to taste it or smell it or
Here's the thing.
talk to it?
Let me be honest, which is not when I say that, I'm not being honest. All right, there's about, an ounce of beer here? You want me to get drunk before we go on the air?
That's about 4 ounces there.
Let me try this.
So Bill and I were talking, and we were trying to figure out which
Love this. What is this?
which beer we would feature today based on Christmas beers. And then this is my favorite Christmas beer. This is St. Bernardus Brewery out of Belgium. This is St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. We try to keep it in the store all year, but sometimes it's hard to keep around. Everybody buys it. I mean, this is a really good one. And every time I taste it, wow. I said taste it, not chug it.
That is phenomenal. That's really good.
Here, I got more.
Thank you. And I usually don't do this at all.
Well, I guess he likes it.
I really like this.
Yeah.
St. Bernardus Christmas Ale is my favorite Belgian Christmas beer, and we haven't featured on the show in a while, and not knowing what to do today, we were like, all right, that's it, we're bringing St. Bernardus, and I'm glad you liked it.
You can bring this every week. This is so good. I don't even know what I'm tasting. What is it? What is the flavor profile of this thing? Listen to me, I sound like a snob, but what is it?
This is a classic. It's a Belgian strong dark ale. It's a quad. And when most people taste these, Jason, they get sort of what we would call dark fruit, like raisins and cherry and that sort of thing. They get certainly a boozy flavor to it because it is 10% ABV. It's a sneaky beer because they use bittering units in a different format, but it's 20 EBU or 20 IBU. So it does have a little bit of hop to balance it out. But this beer, we have featured it on the show a number of times. It is also my favorite Christmas beer. And St. Bernardus and their brewmaster, Marco Passarella, sets the record for the furthest distance and one of the earliest wake-ups we've had. We had Marco on the show to feature this beer one year. So we love it. It brings back fond holiday memories and fond memories of previous Friday Beer Buzz shows as well.
Yeah, this definitely goes in my top list. I have a couple beers and usually it's like really fruity stuff. So this is great.
I can't tell you how many times I've had this beer, but this morning is the first time I've paired it with Krispy Kreme donuts. And it works really well with Krispy Kreme donuts.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
It's really good with Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, this is, let me see if I can pronounce this. It's St. Bernardus
You got it.
Christmas Ale.
And it's a very festive package. In the bottle, you have Santa Claus monk on there, and the new cans are fantastic. It's a really good choice to bring to that party that you don't know what to bring.
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, you said raisins. I was nervous because you said I hate raisins. Like I just think they're spoiled grapes, and that's a whole other conversation for different
dried dark fruits. I mean, not necessarily raisins, but that whole.
I was nervous that was going to get into my head and I wouldn't like it. I would taste something, but I don't taste that at all. I just love everything about this beer.
One of the most famous beers in the world and one of the most chased after beers is called Westvleteren. It's also a Belgian beer that is very rare, hard to get, comes from St. Sixtus monks. Well, St. Bernardus was contract brewing that beer for years and years, up until 1992 when their agreement actually ended. And they are not allowed to use the Trappist beer designation because they are not brewing inside the walls of a Trappist monastery. But don't ever think that in any way, shape, or form lessens their beer. They actually kept the original yeast strain from Westvleteren, and Westvleteren went on to use a different yeast strain for that. And the claim to fame for this beer, Jason, it's maybe what you're tasting, is that their water comes from 150 meters down, and they say that scientists have proven that the water originates from rainfall in the time of Joan of Arc. So maybe that's what you're tasting in the beer.
You know what? I've had this experience before, and it does have a very Joan of Arc flavor to it.
It does, yeah.
You don't hear that much, but I can't talk about how I know that, but it's,
I don't
it's
know.
very Joan of Arc-y.
I don't know about the water, but the beer's pretty good.
The beer's phenomenal. Someone had texted in, beer tastes disgusting. And I'll tell you, I think I once felt that way until I started doing this.
That person needs to spend 10 minutes with me.
Yeah, like
I'll find a beer that you're gonna love.
I still don't drink anything and everything, and I don't drink full beers all the time. But I love the flavor and tasting what they're doing with it. So that's yeah. Wow, this is a great one.
And
St.
is the
Bernardus.
counselor on the label winking or not? Because they say 1 in 1,000 labels, and they have to call it a counselor, or they're not allowed to call it a monk.
Listen,
is the counselor winking on?
I've handled more than 1,000 bottles of St. Bernardus, and I have yet to find that winking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen one photo of one winking counselor. I have not seen one in person.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go and enjoy your weekend looking for winky eyes on these bottles. And I wish you the best. And thank you for the beer news. There's always beer news up at mybeerbuzz.com. And we will talk to you next week, right? Next week. So
That sounds good. And if you want to come out with a little St. Bernardus and help me shovel, you're all welcome to Harvey's Lake.
that won't happen, but I like the beer. It is the Friday Beer Buzz. Lindo, thank you for being here as well. The Friday Beer Buzz is again powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. That is the featured beer today, and you can find it at Sabatini. So thank you. We'll do this again next week. It is the Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.